on the next image, and I think this one is especially tailored for you, Matthew. I'm really curious to see how your take is on this. I mean, this is from Santosh. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. And I'm just going to leave that with you, man.
You're going to leave it with me? It's a very curious image, and there's parts of it that I like very much, in the sense that I think there's a lot of kind of storytelling going on. But what I'm feeling is like the person that created this has got an appreciation for art, history, yet they're not quite tapping into the right moments. There's like gestures of things. A couple of paintings come to mind that I would suggest you look at. Actually, one that is incredibly important for this would be Diego Velasquez. Las Meninas, right?
Yeah.
Have a look at that one and see how all the storytelling is happening with the mirror and the subject and the fact that the author is in the painting and the layers of perspective and the values and the depth of field that is kind of going on in that painting. The other one I would look at would also be Singer Sargent, the daughters of Edward Darby.
Oh,
Darley, daughters of Edward Darley.
I probably know, but by name I'm not.
You'll find it. The reason I bring that one up is not so much the subject matter, but I think that the reds in this and the color could really use that kind of punch which is in the Singer Sargent. So if you're listening to this, look up John Singer Sargent, the daughters of Edward Darley. And with that, right, those are two really quite classical paintings. What I would suggest you do then is look at Marguerite and start to think about how you can make this surreal, because there's a lot of surrealism going on in this thing, whether you like it or not. It needs more chiaroscuro, this kind of northern facing light. I need to sense that light. It's really not much darker. This area over here, right? This light coming in. I kind of want this to be much lighter, and I want this to kind of be infecting this, right? And this needs to get all much, much, much darker.
Almost like the Flemish paintings.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, the Flemish paintings are also another place to start. I mean, you've clearly got a bunch of paintings in here, and I mean, we talked a little bit about intellectual property in the last one. These paintings are all over, the artists in these paintings died over 100 years ago. So using images of the paintings is actually okay if you took the photo of the painting yourself.
Really?
Because this photograph, my guess is that you didn't take the photograph of this Rembrandt. So actually you are using somebody else's photograph, although the subject matter, if you had taken the photograph yourself, would be okay. So all in all, it's kind of like, I want to see handbags floating. I want to see this hat. I want her levitating. Let's just levitate her for a start, because the photograph of her, wherever you got that, my guess is probably on the internet somewhere. The horizon line on her, for me, doesn't feel quite right with the horizon line on this is up in here. When I look at the photograph of her, I feel like the horizon line is in there.
Yeah, you're right.
So, make this more abstract. Get her up in there. Make her float, have her shadow. I mean, it is Halloween after all, right? Get some of these objects, because really this is a composition in which you're testing your skills with, you're playing with. Look at Marguerite. Get things floating. Get the light more dramatic. I mean, take a real stance on this. Get bold. Have fun. And get some storytelling into it. And that's probably all I got for this one. But I like the carpet too. It sort of reminds me a little bit of The Shining. Kubrick vibes.
The polo, what is it? The polo, the polo carpet that everyone says it's like he faked the moon landing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, getting the Shining carpet into this too is another kind of reference. All of those things, if they came together, would make a wondrous image.
I think this is, again, fantastic. It's okay. It's good. But it is incredible to kind of talk about these things, which are the references and how, you have to build this. I mean, Matthew, you have this incredible lexicon. We're going to touch on that in the podcast. This incredible linguistic, artistic language in your head that you've studied for years and years, and you can pull on those references, and you can see how deep it goes. And that I don't see Matthew pulling from like this image that I've seen online and stuff like that. It's all from really fundamentals of art, and that's where it all starts, right? And especially with this picture, and I think this caught Matthew's eye and myself, but myself, we have to speak about this one. And because of the subject matter and just how different it was, and that it has so much potential in just adding a little more contrast and just adding a little more of that drama and just pulling a little bit of those references, and how that, can be so...
Yeah, and now if you brush that, and get a little bit of light going in that corner, so get a massive eraser in there. Yeah, and back that. Oh, you need a softer one, but that's the rough idea, right? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right. So you've got something that's going on there. Can you make this
you want a softer one?
Yeah, much much softer.
The boss is speaking.
So I'm not the boss.
Now I know how to be on the other side as well, and it's awesome. Go for it.
So it's more. Is that doing anything? Yeah. So we get this going. Let's see.
Yeah.
So we've got got something to work there. It's in many ways, it's like when you start these images, you've just got to take a position. And what I mean by a position is you've got like a strong idea that you can distill down into just like 2 punches. And if you've got that in your head, that will guide every decision that you have along the way, as opposed to just kind of adding stuff until you're done. Yeah. And then you can see just over there, right?
Just bringing it out.
I feel like that guy. Remember the old guy who did the kind of the velvet paintings on television? He's like, you can
Bob Ross.
Yeah, you brush a little in this nice little feather bit over there.
we all love Bob Ross, and he has some of his quotes are awesome. It's funny that you do something which I don't do a lot, and it's kind of cool to see that it works. Which is, I tend to focus the images. I tend to focus a lot on the central piece. I am of the belief that you should kind of fade out towards the end and vignette and focus around the thirds and things like that. And when I see you coming at it with you're triangulating here, you're kind of, I'm not going to paint anything, but you're just like here, and here, and you're kind of bringing that softness.
What I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to get these two to have a dialogue and get you there. Yeah. There's lots of things that I'm trying to get that, right?
Yeah. And I think
I think I've gone a little too far with that one over there. That one needed a little touch, but
you want to bring it back?
Yeah, just reverse the. Yeah.
Just is it here?
Yeah, that's about it. You've done it. I went a little too. Yeah.
I think one of the most awesome things about this as well, and you touched upon that, was the surreal aspect. If you notice all the figures, they're kind of almost looking at the girl, and kind of there's this dialogue, and also the man upstairs. So you're kind of, it's also saying something through other different words almost, and they're all looking somewhat into the center, and they're all like, what are they thinking?
Oh, I'm not used to using this pen.
Oh, what do you want to do? White? Black?
Do you want to brighten that guy up? Just flip it.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Yep. I think that's about it on this one. So more surreal. Velasquez, Las Meninas, Singer Sargent, the daughters of Edward Dolly, and blend those ideas of color and storytelling with the surrealism of Magritte. And this could be stellar image. I'd love to see you take these ideas and send it back to us.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That would make me really happy.
We've had one person do that in the past, where they've kind of improved on it and sent it back, taking in consideration that. But I think this one will be amazing. It has a lot of potential to do that. I think, for this one,
good.
I think we're pretty much there. Okay, guys, so there you have it firsthand, the legendary Matthew Bannister. I'm sorry, I need to put that in there. Matthew Bannister. And before I pass it on to you, I want to say how amazing that was. I want to thank you for coming down.
I want to thank you for having me. This was a hell of a lot of fun.
This was
it's lovely.
I'm so thankful. I mean, I myself also learned a lot with this, and I saw another perspective. It was amazing to have this exchange of conversation with Matthew. Matthew, are there any final thoughts you want to leave us with and kind of tell us about?
I think that both of the visuals we looked at, I'll go back and just repeat that, is that when you start something, have a position, have an idea, have a big idea, an idea that you can kind of just make a very quick sketch, even if it's on a piece of paper, what that idea is, and follow that all the way through, because that will lead every decision that you make. And while I'm at it, while I'm here, is look a lot more at art and photography and spend less time looking at other people's renderings. There's a lot of beautiful renderings out there, and there's a lot of amazing companies making beautiful renderings. And of course, look and support those companies' works and those artists' works. But look more at art and look more at photography, because that's going to help your rendering work more than looking at other renderings. And while I'm at it, don't go crazy on the tools. Don't overthink the tools. It's not about tools. It's about your eye. I like to think that if all the computers blew up and we had a deadline and an architect said, we've got to make a visual by the end of the day, I'd like to think that I could still run down the block, grab a big notepad, get some charcoal, and make a beautiful drawing. And so, don't think about all the latest plugins and all that stuff. Get your art in place, get your eye thinking.
Get the base right.
Get the base right, yeah. Go outside and look at grass and realize it's not green, you know? Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. There's just some of the pearls of wisdom, I think, Matthew, that you've dropped here, and just bloody awesome. And I just want to make another invite again for you to come and do another one.
Sure.
And I hope you come down when you're here again, because this
I will. Of course
amazing.
I will. And I will. Definitely.
Guys, leave your comments. I'm going to link up Matthew as well, and DBOX, which they didn't really need it, but I'm going to link it up because, their work is amazing, and I've been a follower for many years. And I just want to say thank you, Matthew. It's been awesome. Sorry, I'm going to get to the gym. That's awesome. Cheers.
Thank you.